Right now, joining me from Highland Park, Illinois, is Fox 32's Casey Cronus with the latest. Casey, you've been there since the very beginning, but now we're getting some 911 transcripts, some logs, and you've spoken to some of those 911 operators.
Hey, Andrew, that's right. You know, so many people dropped everything that they were doing to help on Monday. Many people were off for the holiday, including a lot of the 911 operators. But when they heard what was going on, their phones started going off. They were getting text messages. They sped over to Highland Park to get into position to help take many of these calls. When the day started, only about 10 operators were on hand to assist. By the end of the day Monday, there were more than 20 people taking these very, very tough phone calls. As the shock wears off and sadness sets in, a community continues to grieve those senselessly killed when a gunman opened fire Monday.
I'll tell you, it's the worst day I've ever worked in my career. And I hope that none of us ever have to work that again.
When chaos unfolded, first responders jumped into action, while 911 operators were tasked with keeping callers calm.
It's really important for us as professionals to help guide the callers through getting them the proper assistance. Basically being the eyes and ears of the person needing help.
From the time gunfire erupted during Highland Park's 4th of July parade Monday morning,
I walked into the room, it was chaotic.
to late that night, emergency lines never stopped ringing.
Dispatch from Battalion 33, can we get an ambulance box to Central and 2nd Street?
Like many others, Tom Perfect was off for the holiday, but rushed in to help. Calls ranging from fearful parade goers who were hiding out to family members who were separated from their loved ones. And as the day went on, tips about the suspect.
People looking for family members, people that didn't know family members were injured or deceased at the time. And it was a lot of calls very quickly.
In the first hour since the shooting, 911 operators took more than 400 calls, hundreds rising to thousands by the end of the day. And since Monday's shooting, there's really been an outpouring of support in this community and from surrounding communities. Tonight, there was a vigil here in Sunset Woods Park in Highland Park, where hundreds of people gathered together, lighting candles and just looking for some sense of togetherness, looking for hope and peace during this very difficult time. Counseling services are still being offered by the FBI at the Family Assistance Center. That was put up in the high school here in Highland Park. People encouraged to take advantage of those services. And then, of course, counseling also being offered to first responders and 911 operators who are also starting to process what they experienced on Monday.
Yeah, Casey, I can't imagine what the community is going through now, just 4 days removed. But let's talk about the investigation a little bit. I know you've been there from the very beginning, but are we going to get any, more press conferences, any more updates from law enforcement, from, elected leaders about this, or are they going to keep that under wraps for now?
It's unclear when we'll get an official press briefing next. We obviously got several on Monday and then on Tuesday. But in terms of one being announced for the coming days, that hasn't yet happened. We did hear that the police tape may be taken down as soon as Saturday. It's still up in the downtown area. Investigators are still on scene. And, it's really quite eerie because so many of the belongings that people left behind on Monday, they were strewn across the downtown area, are still there within that police tape. A lot of the belongings were collected by investigators, examined, and were available for pickup starting yesterday. But in that immediate area where the shooting took place, we were just over there a couple of hours ago beyond the police tape, and we still saw some strollers, some folding chairs, and other belongings that have not yet been touched. Investigators need to do this very methodically, so we do know the tape is expected expected to be up. That perimeter expected to remain in place at least through tomorrow. But it should be, you know, quite a sight to see on Saturday, if that is when that tape is removed, because for many people, that'll be the first time that they're able to walk downtown since Monday's shooting.
Yeah, and Casey, we all have seen how, you know, coverage of these mass shooting incidents go, and the next thing really is to be watching for the funerals that will be ultimately taking place for those 7 victims. Casey Cronus, we thank you for your reporting. We'll talk to you again.
Thanks, Andrew.